I am the rawest, my flow is flawless. They wanna ride my wave like a dog. Connected with bosses, no room for losses. Money counters, all you see in my office. Like Jesus, how these people are cautious. Like a pizza for that dough, I toast you. Shotguns had me ready to mouse. Fuck with me, niggas better be cautious. I am the...
What you doing today?
And I'm fine, Brother Icy.
You
I
doing fine?
really appreciate you allowing me to come to be able to assemble with you.
Yeah.
You know?
I appreciate it.
Doing great, man.
Yeah. And I gotta shake you, I gotta shake your hand because
you're quite a guy,
every
brother.
time.
You're quite a guy because you're reaching out.
Mm.
And in order for me to be able to do anything to help anybody, they have to reach out.
Reach out. Gotta seek it.
And you're doing something that a lot of people are afraid to do.
Mm. Mm-hmm. I was at one point in time too.
And I like that.
I like him talking to preacher. What he got going on.
Yeah, man.
He trying to get his life. He trying to get his life together.
Yeah, I even try to learn from myself, so I understand others running. Yeah.
I always had to keep a connection with you, even if it was when I see you at church or when I see you around family, and I was like, "This is what I need," but I'm more cluttered with the things that the environment showing me. The neighborhood, so it's like I see something different, but I like different anyway. I'm one of them ones go this way. You know what I'm saying? They're considered the black sheep or whatever they want to call it. I was just like more gravitated towards that, and I always felt like as being young, I wanted that mentor. I wanted something just to show me as far as a male figure, and me seeing you stood out from what the neighborhood was showing us. Everybody on the corner drinking beer, you over here suited up talking to somebody about, hey, you're not even judging. You came to the neighborhood, never judged, because I know y'all, and I lived the life before, so I love the way that you maneuver through all that and as well. So yeah, you stood out.
That's awesome, man. I gotta say that's awesome, because what you just did for me is you reminded me that I had something worth tapping into.
Right.
Because if I didn't have something worth tapping into, it'll make me think all I ever had was what I always have done. And that's not what you're always seeking. So I like that, but I'm going to say this and then I'll turn it right back over to you. The word says, we then who are strong ought to bear the infirmity of the weak and not to please ourselves. So I come on the scene because I'm not trying to please myself. I'm trying to help somebody else.
Okay.
So I like how you stepped up.
Yeah, I had to. Right. My path might look a little different because they might see it just like that, but don't box me in and think I'm not on this same journey or something. I might have this on, or I might have a suit on the next time.
And you go there with style.
With style, come on, there it is.
I just thought I'd throw it out there.
I appreciate that. And you always do it with style.
See,
like I said, you set that trend first. Yeah. So I love it.
Appreciate that.
One quick question, right quick. Who did you idolize growing up as a child?
A guy named Snooki.
Snooki
and Charlie. Two guys, they was hip. They talk real jazzy. They stood on the corner. And I was a little kid playing actually with the basketball. And I used to be in the yard playing with my ball, but they was on the corner. And I just gravitated to what I saw them doing. I didn't know. Right. They was up to something and it just seemed interesting.
Right.
Possibly more interested than my basketball, but I don't know how that happened. But I was still handling my basketball, doing my thing. But that's who it is, man. Snooki and Charlie. Actually, they in my first book.
Okay. So you saying that, I'm gonna reflect a little bit on my childhood. I remember being in the projects and seeing somebody. We probably out there playing football in the yard and see somebody drive through with a car with some gold rims on it. And I seen what attention they grabbed, and I'm like, I like it. Like the energy behind it. How can I can get that because this person in reach, I can touch him. So I understand. Yeah, he displays something for you to be like, hey, now this ain't cool. So this fun right here, but this look fun. So
yeah. Okay, it happened real quick too.
So Snooki and
Charlie,
Charlie. But I know it's always generations above us. Like at my time growing up, it's probably somebody else. At your time growing up, it was always somebody else. So it's somebody. So we changing the narratives. Like we was looking at something that thought was glitz and glamour, and then you go through it and you like, dang, it went down destruction. I got lost in taking this. I could get lost in taking that turn. What they showing me to look good.
Yeah, and they meant no harm. This is the part that I got out of it. I was like, they were so genuine about being honest. they didn't have no way of escaping what they were in after they got captured, you see.
Yeah.
And so by me just watching, and they always told me some encouraging things by way of things like this.
That's what,
Don't you never do this.
Yeah.
That herion that you made mention of.
Yeah.
I was a little kid and I used to go in the bathroom with Snoopy.
Yeah.
Because he was getting ready to shoot up.
Mm.
And he would let me light the spoon for him. That was my role. I'm lighting the spoon and I'm enjoying it. And he would put some powder in the spoon and he would put the water in it and he would stir it up. And
doing the whole rundown. Right.
All of a sudden, I see the water bubbling. And after that was done, he took a cigarette and took the cotton out of it and he threw it off in there and then he drew it up with the syringe and he started fixing it.
He ended up doing chemistry and
he
you like, yeah, what, yeah.
But he's laying it down and I'm just interested in what I see because this is exciting.
Right.
Because I'm lighting the spoon and then I need to tie the sock around his arm to help him out.
So help him out.
And that's what I did and that's how I got
So you participate not even knowing, you just not even consciously knowing that that's what you're doing. You participate in seeing something.
Yeah.
So when he done that, did you see it look like a good feeling to him or it's like, I don't want to be like that? What kind of mindset was you in?
I'm glad you asked that because the good feeling part is getting ready to come in.
Mm-hmm.
When he injected it in his arm,
mm-hmm.
after he telling me to loosen the sock up, he took the syringe and stuck it in his arm and pulled it right out. He didn't go to playing with it. He just pulled it right out.
Right.
And then he looked at me. He was patting his feet. And he could sing.
Mm.
And he was feeling good. That's a good thing we talk
about.
Right.
Feeling good, yeah.
And then he said these words to me. Don't you never do this. I'm like,
how you going to see me?
Yeah, don't never do this.
Right.
And I know what I see you doing is like, you excited about it. And
he's
talking stuff and he's singing and hitting a little note, you know.
It confused.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, you know, I'm still excited about my role.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's gone and continue to do what he's doing. He'll come back again later on and go back to the bathroom, go through the routine. And I'm just saying that.
Right.
So I began to be a part of lighting that spoon, doing the things, holding the sock, watching him do it. And then he turned to me and said, don't you never do this. And I'm still saying, still telling me not to never do this.
Right.
And so
he telling you from a wise place, but at the same time, his action showing something different.
Action is much stronger than what he's saying to me because I admire him. Remember, I admire him and Charlie. And so I like how you brought that because the good was in there from what I saw in him. I'm seeing the good in it, but he wasn't.
Right.
Because he said, don't you never do this. And he meant well. And I always was loyal to him.
Yeah, right.
And he
you ain't misguided. Right, you ain't going to misguide.
I never shot drugs in my life because he told me not to never do it.
Yeah.
So but he didn't tell me that I can do it another way. I found out you can do it another way, and then that's what I ended up doing.
You were like, I ain't gonna do what you said, but I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I found out I can do it another way because I'm excited about him saying, you know, all the things he was saying and how much he was just kicking it.
You getting adrenaline rush off of what he doing.
Yes, sir, yeah. But at the same time, now let me explain something. He had gone to prison because he was get locked up from time to time. And I'm growing on up, and now I ended up with that pack in my hand. That's what happened. I ended up with that pack in my hand, and I know how they got it to me. I can still see and believe that it was game that they brought to me to get it in my hand because they knew had they just gave me that my mother wouldn't have been all right with that. So
it
ended up in my hand.
End up in your hand. So
they did it with style. I just think they did it with style. I still don't know today, but I know who brought it to me. You know, he passed now, but still. And by me holding on to it, they wanted me to turn it over to the dealer, but he never came forward. And so I opened it up, and next thing I know, I'm thinking this is powder. This is brown. It's the same thing that my cousin used to do in the bathroom, Snoopy, who I admire.
Right.
And man, it was interesting because I sold a $15 bag, which is in my first book.
Right.
$15 bag.
Right. This one, I'm on it.
And he came back. I thought he was coming back for his money. I didn't know. I was young and dumb, ignorant, full of fluid, and ready to do whatever it is I can do. And he just ended up wanting some more. And I ended up selling him the rest of it, and I got about $75, man.
Yeah. So you seen something, your mind had triggered something.
It's over for me now. I didn't even know it.
I introduced you to the grind to it now instead of just
running
doing
the corner. After that, I ended up running the whole corner in the block.
Yeah.
That's why I wrote my book. The first chapter in my book is called On the Corner.
On the Corner.
Yeah.
Okay, on the corner. Yeah, so our childhood was a wild hood.
It was tough, man. It was tough on me. With the basketball in my hand.
And the basketball in your hand.
Couldn't even see the gift that I had. Couldn't see it.
But some things seem unfortunate, leads you back to surface back around that be your blessing. Like I might then need you to go out to there.
Yeah,
because a lot of people you wouldn't be able to talk to a lot of people. You might be only can talk to athletes, and then you might be only talk, but you can talk to these people who went through the adversity that you went through, or come from poverty and don't see no hope.
Right.
It's like this the hope right here.
Yeah.
I ain't have to go to bed. I survived this. This is hope. This is the real trophy.
I got to pay back. You know, I owe my community for what I did unintentionally, and then I would have harmed people in the pros because I made it look attractive. See, I would have went to the pros, and I still would have been on the herion, and I would have been giving other people, and all of a sudden now they own it.
So at that time, was that the normal thing going on, like sports players doing it as well, the music industry.
They had style.
They were showing like they was doing it though. Yeah, it was the normal at the time. Style. So it wasn't looked at like, hey, I ain't looking down on you. No, that's what we doing.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah. And so you know, I just know that I was just grateful that I didn't go. I used to say, man, I'm so glad I didn't go to the pros, man, because I know good and well I would have made what I was doing seem like it's something worth getting with.
You would have led them on all the people who in this top position. They would have came on down. They would have been up under your wing.
I bring it to the table like that. I knew I did. You know what I mean?
So with that, how did you go from rags to riches? Like,
man,
how we getting in that space as you kind of talking about the.
That's tough. That was hard.
You got to grind it.
That was hard to do. After I turned my life over, after I got myself together, you know, and realized what I was doing to myself.
Yeah.
And once I discovered that I was bringing so much harm to myself, and Charlie was the one that used to say these words: "Once a junkie, always a junkie." So he used to say, "All right, now, don't you never do this here." They used to tell me that, and then they used to say, "Once a junkie, always a junkie." So once I took that hit, I began to feel like later on that I was a junkie because I had to have it. And so that was tough, but I respect them because at least they did reach out to tell me this. So time went on, as you said, about, you know, how did I come from being in the game like I was, getting free.
Right.
And I said it wasn't easy. So what I did was I realized that now that I know I have to check my own self, this stuff is destroying me.
Okay.
And brothers in the penitentiary know that Fat Rick is still out there in the game, but he got a good name. Yeah. And when I say a good name, I'm talking about he ain't around here with the jive.
Right. His name is good.
He ain't back in prison, though his name is good. But man, I know he gonna end up. We got a bunk for him in the penitentiary. So that bunk that they had for me in the penitentiary, I never got a chance to go out there. And I guess they just took it up once they found out my life changed. So they probably said, well, ain't no sense of having that bunk for him. He ain't making it this way because he's doing something different. How I was able to do that, again, I knew that one day that I was going to get a chance, and I used to take chances anyway.
Okay.
And I found out I was taking a chance on doing something good now. I said, man, I found out that I can go without this stuff. I said, they should have never let me find out that. That's what I said, you know. And so when I discovered that I went without it, you know, I had gone to treatment. I'm going to say that. I went to treatment. You know, I didn't go because I wanted to. I was forced to go. I had caught an indictment.
Okay.
And that indictment, my lawyer, he always kept me free, man. You know, I love, he's in my book as well. The first book, Mr. Quinlan. He knew that I was not a bad person as, you know, a lot of people.
The system see you as.
Line you up. He's seen something in me.
Right.
And so he had kept me free, and all of a sudden with this indictment, he knew they had me, but they had me wrong.
Okay.
And he didn't let them send me to the penitentiary.
So you went from that,
went to the treatment center, which is what no plan of mine. And so I tried not to go there.
Right.
You know, he went in there, he done fought for me, he done went in there and got them people mad at him and me. And then he come back out there, he said, Rick, he said, why don't you go get some help for yourself?
Yeah.
And I said, you know, he cared about me. That's what I said.
Yeah.
So he came out with an option. He said, you can go to a treatment center for 28 days, or you can take the 4 years in prison. And I said, Mr. Quinlan, I said, I don't want to do neither one of them. I bet he probably said, man, he got to be out of his mind. I done went in there and fought for him and got him 28 days in treatment. He don't even want to go to treatment. I didn't know nothing about treatment.
Right.
I don't know anything about none of this stuff. And then I ain't that kind of person.
Right. So your mind was close.
I can do it myself. And I can't stay straight for a moment. Here I am offering help to him, and I don't want that.
Don't even.
So I ended up, he said, you have to choose one or the other. Well, you know, I chose the 28 days. And I went on down there, and ironic that it was a guy that played basketball. played so well, I didn't know nothing about it. When I got there, it was a pamphlet laying down. Now, God know I play basketball. He know I care about basketball. And
that's your language right there. Yeah, so somebody
that was it. It wasn't none of that treatment stuff they got. That ain't got this. The guy here, I didn't find out about him. And this guy by the name of Lynn Byers, I said, well, I don't know nothing about it. They say he took a hit of drugs and died. He had signed a contract with the Boston Celtics, but didn't get a chance to play with them because he was out celebrating with his friends and died. So they asked the question, say, would anybody hear this or can they hear it? And the only thing I can think about is I've been on that stuff for almost 20-some years. And I'm so hot now because this man done took a hit. He didn't get a chance to play with the Boston Celtics, which I never seen him play at all.
Right.
Played with Maryland in college, but I didn't know nothing about that.
About that, right.
So when I got out of treatment, this is what I said. I said, I'm going to do it for him and me. I said, I'm going to stay off of it just like that. That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Now I got drugs at home.
You don't even, right, okay.
Now I got drugs at home. I'm with the treatment.
You're inspired by his story, and you see yourself in it.
Yeah, and I was upset. I was actually angry because this man didn't get a chance to go do something that he loved to do.
Right.
And that's how it all started for me. And so when I came out, I had 2 weeks up under my bed, and I didn't use no drugs, even though I had it. And I said, if I do 2 more weeks out here, they can forget about me. That's what I said.
Right.
I made it 2 weeks, which I matched the 28 days that I had in treatment with nobody around in treatment with no drugs.
Right. So
I got drugs and still won't do it.
Okay.
And that's what God taught me. He said, look, you're not no junkie. So I went on about it, and next thing I know, I ended up writing a book. I said, man, I sure would like to get in touch with this man, Kingpin.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting in contact with Kingpin to tell somebody in his family that it was his mother. And I told her how much he inspired me. So that's how it happened.
Wow. So he was an inspiration. I know that felt good. Man. I know she felt good to hit that. It probably hurt her at the same time because like my son made it. Like out of all this going on.
Yeah, man.
But like you say, who we idolize coming up, you got to be mindful of that because that's when we so vulnerable and we just like listen to whatever's around us. We observe all that. So it's good that you made your transition through that, your rags to riches, your story. You went deep into the hustle. You lost yourself in the game, lost yourself to the drugs, and then had to get yourself back. And before you got out, that's good that you had that self-discipline. Like what you was doing behind closed doors is worked outside. So you got outside like this. That ain't. I know how it feels though. You can just think about it and probably get that feeling back. Like I know how it feels.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I remember when I was like, them stories can take you down there.
It don't take them but a moment.
A snap like that.
Just like that. And so that's a really good thing to be able to elaborate on right now when you were saying, how did I become, aware that I can get free from something that I was in so deep.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, I'm the one who is the supplier, the distributor. You know what I mean? I'm around here saying now that I'm free from it. And then I thought about all my friends. I thought about the harm that I've done to the community. Because I'm free now.
Right.
So I got compassion on the people. And then I know now that God was working with me because he knew that I didn't intend to do the harm to people like I did.
Oh, right. It wasn't intentional.
No,
you weren't doing it intentionally, right?
Man, I love my community.
But then when you seeing like, oh, this is what I did.
Yeah, I done harm.
You Godzilla. You done tore down the whole city. And you like, wow.
Yeah, I'm so glad those few people didn't follow me, man. Yeah. Because the majority of the people that was in my arena, they indulged, man, because of me. And I'm saying that to say, how can I make it up to my community? That's what it was with me, and that's what happened, brother. So,
it was a time in my life that these pills got around, these little X pills and stuff, probably 06, 07, 08 and stuff in there. Yeah. So I think probably like 08, I took me one. And it was a friend just kept trying to convince me. I'm like, no, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool, bro. And then I just drank my drink. But then I ended up taking one and I've seen how good I felt. And I was like, oh, this feels good. You know what I'm saying? And my older brother, original, he was paying attention. Like,
man.
He done tried stuff and he fixed himself up. Like, dang, y'all thought I was finna be gone out here, huh? Yeah. So he laughed at people who were trying to come and sell him something when they thought he was finna be gone.
Yeah.
So I used to follow him and be like, hey, man, what you doing? Because our mother put some discipline in us. Well, we really discipline each other. She can fall back and let us do what we do with each other. So I'm following him like, hey man, what you doing in the bathroom? What you doing? So I'm following him. So the tables turn. I'm taking these pills and it's probably a Tuesday or Wednesday. Ain't nothing going on this day. We ain't no club, no. Like, bro, what you doing? You popping out too much. And when he told me I was on one, so I was like, wow. Nah, man, you love me, don't you, man? Get on up out here. I don't want to hear that right now. But then I got to sit and think to myself, I'm like, nah, he right. I am doing too much. Then he tell me I done shared it with a friend or whoever I was dating at this time. Now I'm saving. Now I'm going back to save people. Like, nah, put that down because it snapped in my mind. Nah, we can't be doing this. My brother just said something. I probably tried it for probably over 3 months or something, and just cold turkey based off of that. And I was like, to even talk about it, I still know how that feeling felt at that moment. Because you know what I'm saying? And I know how, and to see people who still doing it from that time that I did try it and still living, I'm like, nah, you an addict. Like, you don't got this many years on you ain't take no break. Like, you ain't, like, and I can't do nothing but pray for them or tell them, like, look at me. Like, these ain't the story. They captured. So now they trying, you know, they create new stuff. So how you look at the game, like, you been out of it and seeing people still doing these same things, like, dang, y'all don't even.
I think about compassion.
Compassion to them. Okay.
And it says something about, you know, when you discover that there are people out there like that, it says, walk in wisdom toward those who are without, redeeming the time. So my thoughts is like, redeeming the time, bring back the good old days when people could be out on the street, no drive-bys, and people can be out in the yard playing, mothers can be out on the porch. Those thoughts come to my mind, you know, when I think about wisdom. You know, like, you know, I'm walking in wisdom today. Wisdom to let it be known that there's a difference between getting high and staying high. See, a lot of people still getting high. I stay high. Right. See, I'm high every day.
It's a new high.
And you ain't got to search for it. You ain't got to try to find out if it's any good. You ain't got to go. You know what I mean? It's like built in. You remember when I was telling you it's on the inside?
Yes.
The crowd wasn't on the outside because I can put a uniform on. You know what
cover
I mean?
That up.
Yeah, I can do my thing, talk the talk, and I can do all that stuff. But deep down, I'm crying for help.
Right. Okay.
And so when you get that high on the inside of you, it's over for the enemy. Yeah. And so my job is to encourage the people to let it be known I got the answer to the problem that we've been having, because the book right here that you just raised up is entitled Still High.
Still High, right.
And that's the thing about giving the community something that they deserve.
You gave them solution.
Yeah,
you
gave solution, man. And I was told to go tell my
and God gonna push behind that.
Yeah, he got to, because you know I'm gonna need some help, man.
Yes,
it's like, okay,
that's what we doing this. That's what we talking about this. So, where did you get the name Fat Ricky from? I know you've been slim. I'm looking at your pictures. You've been slim all your life. So what is Fat Ricky?
I was husky growing up.
Oh, you was husky.
I was husky growing up, and the guys who was older than me. Not much older than me, but older than me, you know, like maybe 6 months or a year older than me. And I was the youngest, but yet still, I'm bigger than everybody.
Okay,
So they started calling me Fat Ricky, and you know, Fat Ricky stayed with me, and all of a sudden it just.
All right, so when I couldn't identify that name with who you are walking today, it's like Fat Ricky.
Yeah,
you know Fat Ricky.
They took that and they talking about some money. They pockets.
Right.
That. But that was my nickname because I was husky.
Okay. Yeah, so that name stuck with you, but yeah, it like you said, your name was always good though. Yeah. Either side of
whatever I do, like, you know what I mean. I'm gonna be real about whatever I do. And the only thing about this new way of life, it took some getting used to, because it was hard to believe, man. That a person like myself, because they going on what they know I have done, or for those who heard about me, because everybody
it ain't no change. Right.
They didn't know my game. They didn't know my game. They knew my name, but not my game. See, I always was a player. That's why I got this basketball. That's a player. And I play fair. I play to win. Right. So this is what happened. One day I got on the devil's side. The devil got me now. Right. I'm playing on his team and don't even know it. So now I'm really hot because I don't even know it. Right. But I found out, I said, now I'm going to wake up my whole community now behind it. I'm going to wake the whole community up behind knowing what he done to me. Yeah. And that's why the scripture said, according to 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse number 26, it says that we may come to our senses and escape the snare, the trap of the devil, having been taken captive by him to do his will. I used to do his will, but I got free from it. Yes. And I now,
glory to God,
here to go tell the story, about how I got free, because getting high is popular, but today it's slum to me. because they don't have the power that they used to have over me. So I call it slum.
Slum, okay.
They don't have that kind of power. It just make people think they just had that kind of power, because that's what it did to me.
Right.
So I got to come back and wake people up.
You got control of your mind. You controlling the narrative of it now instead of them controlling.
I'm solution oriented now. You know what I mean? So there's no doubt about it. That's where you all come in at. So when I've done my part,
right,
you all come
in. You done
planted
planted the seed, so we just got to keep watering.
That's what you're doing now, brother.
Right.
I'm talking about
right.
The enemy mad at you.
Yeah.
Because you already know you got
a different fight.
Who is the originator?
Fight. I ain't fighting with myself no more. Now I'm fighting with the devil.
We're gonna tell the true story about how much more that we need the solution than not.
Okay.
We need it more now than ever.
Right.
Because there's another generation coming after you. Now who's gonna talk to the generation and give the generation that's coming after you the solution if you don't have it?
Right.
You know what I mean? They'll listen to you because they appreciate being around you. They see me come up.
Bridging that gap.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I'm saying the same thing you saying, and just in my own terms,
you
in
have
my
to,
own
man.
testimony.
I can see you brothers right today, man. I can see this in you all, man. There's a few of you all going to come together, man, that I know.
Right.
And brother,
take it.
I can go sit down somewhere for a minute. That's what I'm ready to do. I've been doing all this now.
I ain't taking your word with us. No, we taking the message. We taking the message.
Yeah, I can see
God is all in the mix. So that basically kind of answered a lot of the questions of like, what was the 3 things that made you want to change the way you was living? And you kind of answered, hit a lot of bases of that. Really sick and tired. You done caught the case. You didn't want to turn it was destroying you. You didn't want to turn it around, but you end up taking it, accountability and changing it yourself. Like, I don't want these drugs. They could be in the house all day. Now let me go say somebody else, because I didn't even know I was lost in the mix. And now the game been playing me. Now I'm mad about that. Now I'm gonna put the
it's a wake up call.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I can say, because the people don't know that they can get free. So I'm coming up with the solution. Now I got to go to the community and let it be known. And check this out right here. And I love what you and I are doing right now, because I was given an instruction. See, the devil gave me an instruction and I carried it out. You know what I mean? I carried it out. I mean, I had a 24-hour operation. When I was supposed to be asleep, the operation was still going. So now it's like, okay, God has given me an assignment. And so if I'm going to get me some rest, the operation still should be flowing. The answer to our problem should still be flowing. Because he told me to go home to your friends and tell them what the Lord has done for you and how he has had compassion on you.
And you ain't stopped.
My job is to go tell it, and that's what I've been doing. Bar none. I'm talking about, whatever season it is, it's tell it in season and out of season.
Right.
You
out there? You outside? You
were
said, and while you minister, you will let them know, like, I ain't just standing right here. I'm outside. You ain't even got to say that, because I'm about you. I can raise my hands, both my hands.
See, you know the deal.
Yeah, I know the deal.
And that's the beauty of knowing that at least somebody, is getting it.
Yeah.
See, that gives me joy, because it's like, okay, I got all this in me.
Right.
I'm talking about loaded with the answer to a simple problem.
Right.
But you mean tell me they rather have the way I used to live? You want me to go back into the game and show you how I used to get out in order to bleed me?
Testimony of my life. Yeah.
See, and then I'm sitting up here saying, listen, that thing about
you don't even love me to not see that it's changing. I'm helping better. My kids can be around, but they can love me. My name stands so they can carry a legacy. Y'all want me to kill myself, be out here just sitting on the corner. They let you know they don't care. They don't care about themselves to be able to care about you. So they look how they treating themselves.
They don't know how, and
they don't know how. Right.
Way it reminds me of when I didn't care about myself.
Right.
Anytime I was putting something in me that was trying to destroy me.
Yeah.
And I can't do anything about it.
Right.
That told me I needed some help.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I say, I know my mother loved me, my friends loved me, my people that was around me loved me, but they didn't have the power to help me get free.
Yeah. You had to love yourself.
And then that indictment that I got and that lawyer.
Yeah.
That was
telling you right. He telling you,
man, what you go get some help for yourself. I guess he probably said, I've been keeping you free ever since you've been in the game, man. Go get some help for yourself. You people mad at me. And I appreciate him for
Shout
that.
out, right.
Yes, sir.
Glory to him. So another one, being a minister, does it come with pros and cons? And what kind if they do? Like, what kind of pros and cons do it come with? About you change your life?
Yeah, being a minister is lonely. When I say lonely, coming from the streets and then you got people that's in church that don't know anything about street life. And here I am over here with them now. And I'm here with, you know, the answer to a lot of problems that even they're having. And they don't even know how to get free from them. And I'm having compassion on them. I'm the one supposed to be able to get the answer from them. So by me being over here now, and my friends and everybody still out there in the world, I felt lonely. I'm like, man, I don't have nobody that I can relate to other than my friends that I grew up with, you know, Kim and Newton by the name of Ernest, Paul Baines, you know, different ones that I grew up with, Tony Hyde, Cut, and a lot of them are still around. But it's just the thought of, you know, Tim Roberts, you know, and people like that, you know, that know me.
Right. They saying so like,
I could call them any day.
It's already validated.
Yeah, but it was lonely. That's what it was. Yeah. I had to get used to being over there, and I didn't have no knowledge of the word or nothing like that. And I was just
waiting. But you still gonna be faithful to it regardless.
Yes, sir.
I ain't gonna change. I don't care if it throw me in the circle. I'm still gonna be faithful to what I'm doing.
Yeah, and that's what I blessed. Yeah, that's where it came.
Everything laid out to me. I'm like, I already knew this test was for the right one. This was for the right one.
Yeah, it was. So that's what happened. You
know? So in your book, Still High, I know it was a time, like I said, the rags to riches. So can we talk about a little bit of the riches side when you had what we'll consider the bag, you know, the flicks, the flicks. So I know a point of time he was out of control.
Oh man!
And can we speak on that part of
the
out of control and how your flicks was like? You know, nowadays these younger guys, they got the money, they putting it straight on they flashing it. And then people be like, dang, that ain't even money. You don't even know. You flashing it like that, but you don't even know what money really is.
Right.
You ain't seen it. So it's levels to it. Not to be hyping it up, saying that's the thing, but it was just that's how people can resonate. Because it's like, oh, you was there. Oh, I can
he's the man.
Yeah. So us, we kind of run away from people who, man, I don't know my stuff. I can't relate to him. You have done that. You got proof. You got pictures in your book of showing a lifestyle that you used to live, and you've been out of control, and you want to open up to a chapter just
I can do that.
Just a brief.
Out of control. That's a good one. That's a good one, man. Because in Out of Control, I had a basketball as I have right here, and people used to ask me, you know, what college was I going to? Who's recruiting me?
Right.
You know, and right here it says I can remember people asking me, Ricky, what college are you going to? Or who is recruiting you? And my answer was always the same. College. Why would I go to college and take a chance on breaking my ankle? I'm making more money now than I would going to somebody's college. So when I wrote the book, I said, how dumb does it sound? He got me. But here's the key to it. I used to have $100 bills. I love $100 bills. So I used to get them cashed in and everything. And so it says here, I used to joke with my friends. I got more $100 bills than Van Camp have poking beans. For every bean you pull out of a can, I have $100 bill for you. I was so out of control that I thought it was a reasonable thing to compare the money I had with beans in a can. I was actually at a point in my life where if I would have made just a few good decisions, I probably could have turned things around, but instead I was headed for destruction. With all the money that I had, miserable as I can be,
they don't understand.
Heading for destruction.
This the part where I want everybody to know.
I'm talking about heading for destruction on a deep level with all of that money, but I didn't have no peace.
No peace in the inside, no inner peace.
Zero peace. And that's the thing that I want to encourage my people to let them know, that to glorify that money like that, it was a trap and I didn't know it. See, when the enemy gets you in a twist, he had the basketball in the twist with me.
Right.
You know, here it is, people asking me what college I'm going to. Right. I ain't thinking about this basketball. I'm talking about breaking my ankle. I probably could have played with my ankle broken.
Right.
I'm just saying that.
And
I'm trying to find ways to entertain the devil because he got that kind of grip on me.
Right. Yeah, and what came with what the devil was showing you seemed more.
Yeah, innocent young kid. And all of a sudden I'm corrupting the community with drugs and call myself having more money by way of $100 bills than Van Camp had poking beans.
Right. And there's a lot of poking beans in there.
Love poking beans and winners. Yeah, man. You know, so
those people love them poking beans.
It was that insanity, man. It was just that insanity that had me. And this is just a part of the things that happen when you are captured and don't know it. You know, every kid that's in our community on the north, south, east, and west have gifts, man. Now, I didn't even know that this was a gift. This basketball actually is a gift. And I didn't even know it. It took me over 50 years to find out that this was a gift.
The gift.
And how I found out is that he put it on the front cover of this book right here, The Flip Side, which we'll get into at some other point.
Flip. Oh, yes, definitely. So it's a flip side to it. So we got these books up here, but that statement of them $100 bills and porky beans, y'all definitely, it's still high. And we got another book right here. We'll get into another time, but you know, we can talk a little bit about it. The flip side. What made you name the title Still High, and what made you come up with the title The Flip Side?
Man, you really own it. I'm telling you, you be on it. I'm gonna tell you that now, because the flip side actually is responsible for Still High. I was living the flip side right from the start when I came out of the treatment center. I was living the flip side.
Okay.
But I didn't know I was going to write about the flip side.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I was going to write it Still High because I'm ignorant, unlearned, and don't know nothing. But God took an unqualified man and equipped me to do a qualified job. And I ended up getting the book done. So then when I got that done, I thought about all the things that I had done. And I said, man, this flip side is something else. And then later on, I wrote the flip side. But it's responsible for Still High.
Still High, okay. So letting them know, like, this is where this came from. This is birthed. This is birthed from that. This is why I'm still high. Because it was a different. Okay.
And this is why I need to tell you this right here. The community need to know about how to get to the flip side. And that's the thing that we'll talk about at some point.
Yes.
Because it's so simple and it's so powerful that a person would probably run from their own self thinking that I can't do it. Watch how it is. I took my hand. This is one side of my life.
Right.
The one that's corrupted, the one that's got me bound, the one that got me corrupting the community.
Right.
But one day I flipped it over. Now I'm free from that. You see that? That's why it's named the flip side.
Flip side. Okay.
My first side of life, I was in bondage. The second side, I'm free. And that's what I want to tell the people, man. It's easy to
glory to God. And,
it's easy to do, but if you don't know how to do it, it's gonna be very hard.
Yes, and you got the blueprint to it. That's why.
That's good.
That's why people need to. Why when they seeking it, you'll come across it and you'll understand it. Like, dang, you've been doing this you've been right here the whole time. And that's what it done for me. I'm like, you've been right here the whole time, and it made me call you and talk to you and have a talk. We were talking about an hour, or maybe longer than that, but I just knew like how blessed it was. So with that being said, I want to give you your crown. You know, they'll give you flowers, and I give you your crown because you like that. Just based off of you showed up in a lot of parts of my life, the darkest times. I was incarcerated. I had a parole hearing. You come up and I'm listening to you talk, and I'm like, you could be doing anything else in the real than stopping this time to come do this. And I'm like, it touched my spirit. So another time was a shootout happened and I got grazed. And you came up here, and at this time we all rattling up to go ride on whoever it is. We might find the wrong person, but because we don't even know who it is. So I'm like, hey, we ready. And they're like, hey, Pastor Rick out there. So we started putting stuff where we had gun. We like, oh, then I came outside. When you talked to me, my whole spirit shift. I was like a head full of steam and could have done a drive-by hit to somebody innocent and went to the wrong neighborhood. And this ain't even the person. Whoever I'm looking for might not even be the person I get. And I could have been sitting in the penitentiary not to be able to tell this story. So like I said, I want to give you your crown. And it's more stuff. It's more stuff than that. But I want to say my testimony like
hard right here, man.
Yeah, for real, like blessing to my life. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, brother? God is moving in your life, and he wanted me to know that. So when you called me, as we've been talking, like you said, brother, watch what God do through you.
Thank you. So like I said, I want to give you a crown off it because it was like, wow, we was just finna do this. I changed my whole energy and came back in the house, and they like, we ain't going, sit down, I'm going to think on this. And then when I thought, and I'm like, I don't feel like how I felt just before I was finna go do this. And what if I would have went and done this, and then you talk to me, it's too late, like, I might be on the news or something. So just to see our transition, but it's about you, but I'm just saying your work. I want to let it know it been in my life. It played a effect. So you going through what you needed to go through the flip side, and it saved my life from crashing out and starting to be more of a leader, and then knowing I need to call Rick more time because he might be going through some. He might need some. He might need some inspiration just off my testimony,
right, brother. And believe me, I was inspired when you called. Yeah, because in the midst of knowing that somebody's paying attention to the movement, because it's a movement, man, to get people free. The devil don't want to see nobody get free from the things that he got us corrupting on one another. He don't want that to happen. And but like I say, I can see some of you young brothers, man.
It's time. It's time.
Brother,
that's what I think. That's my thing. That's my thing.
Doing
right now. I'm saying it to people. I'm saying it's time. When we talking about linking up, I'm saying it's time.
Yeah,
it's time.
Because remember what I said. I'm ready to sit down somewhere, man.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that to keep motivating you.
Right.
But I'm ready to sit down. I owe it to myself to say, okay, I've paved the way.
Yeah.
Just like I paved the way in the dope game, in the game of street life, I paved the way in that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I made sure that I didn't forget about that. That's what it gave me a heart to say, man, I got to go and save another generation, man, to keep them from going through what I went through. And that's where you come in at. That's where some of the guys, that you know is going to come in at, because y'all gonna get it together, man, because you got to remember these things. You got to say, Pastor Rick said he ready to sit down, man. We got to do some things. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that.
And I'm willing to stand up in them positions where I wasn't at first. I'm like, I'm already right here. I know too much. I know I've been exposed to too much. And I ain't saying the negative, but just the positive, and just knowing where I could have been. I could have been in the grave. Man. I could have been locked up.
That's right.
And just saying that testimony just let me know I'm on the right path as well. Listening to myself saying, I feel like this, but now I'm paying attention to the right things that I need. And I was seeking it. So when I called you, it was like seeking it. At first I was like, nah, if I'm talking to him too much, the neighborhood look like, well, he keep telling him, man, come on over here. We finna pop his bottle. We finna turn up. We finna go out. And it's like, nah, I need to hear this. Because he finna tell me something that I can digest on the time I want to digest. Y'all don't want to hear this, but I want to talk to you. So that's why I called you and reached out. Cause I wanted to talk to you and give you that on this platform. And I'm glad you came in here.
Yeah, I enjoyed every bit of it, and increasing in my thought of saying, man, somebody's getting it.
Yeah.
And it's you, brother.
Appreciate
and a couple other brothers that I know that's getting it.
Yeah.
That helps me.
Yeah.
To know they don't give up on the people, man. They paying attention to wisdom. And I'll say this and I'll wind down on what I'm going to say, and then you can finish saying what you need to say. The word says, according to James chapter 4, verse 7, it says, submit yourself to God. That's what I had to do. And then it said, resist the devil and he'll flee from you. See, the devil, just like I was on the inside or crying out, the devil knew when I went to God, he got shaky. I didn't see it, but I went to God and got the power, and then I was able to resist the devil by way of not doing what I used to do. I didn't even have to say it. I just stopped doing it, and then the devil fled from me.
Yeah.
See, he'll get away from you when you got power.
Right.
But if you ain't got no power, he ain't going nowhere. I don't care what you look like, what you got, where you came from, how high or low you are. If you don't have no power, you can't handle the devil. The devil got power, and believe me, I used to dance with him, so I know he got power. How can he get me to do what I did if he didn't have no power?
Yeah.
But I know a man
that
got more power than the devil got, man. And he have compassion on people that's out in the world. And that's why he told me to go out in the world and compel people to come. And it's tough, but I went.
And you appreciate it. So like I said, we give them crowns around here, and I want to make sure the community give you a crown, because
awesome.
you don't even have to tell about your lifestyle. It's already documented. You already journal, and it's already wrote. So this right here, I want to spread this, and I need to get another book. You know what I'm saying? Just to get somebody, to somebody else.
That's too smooth.
So what kind of music? We're gonna wrap it up though, and I'm glad. Like I said, it's a blessing you came. So where can the people get your books, and where can they find you at, the social media wise, or anything like that?
And I ain't big on social media. I got to give it you all this. Teach me a little
bit
more.
I got you.
But what I can say, I'll give my number, something I used to not do. You know what I mean? Like to everybody.
Right.
I was scared, and I was hiding, and I was ducking, and I was dodging from the police, but I don't have no shame in my game.
Come on now.
So my number is area code 615-524-8625. You can call me and get an autograph book.
There it is.
Probably would be more special than you going to getting it from somebody else.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that.
Call that line.
No excuse. Just make the call, or they can get in touch with you.
Yes, definitely can.
They can get in touch with you. I tell you, brother.
It's a must read.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And the devil don't want you to get this book. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Because what would happen, you'll flip your lifestyle over to this real side right here. Now, if the game that I used to play was so interesting, I'll still be in it. But because
Right.
I know it's slum,
That's
it ain't got the kind of power it used to have over me. So now, come on over to the flip side and let the flip side teach you some of the things.
So you can just say that one more time. If the game is so interesting, you'll still be playing.
I'll still be in it. I'm talking about,
because a lot of people go to the grave not even knowing, could never go to the other side of it.
No, didn't have no knowledge that there was another side.
Yeah.
And now God gave it to me.
Yeah.
Person didn't give it to nobody else. Gave it to me. He said, I know you did so much harm to your community that you're ready to make it up. So you're going to need some ammunition.
Yeah.
Ammunition that'll knock the devil down and he'll never get up again.
Yeah, come on now.
And that's just not boasting in himself, that's boasting in the Lord, because he's the one who gave it to me.
Yeah. Glory to God.
Yeah, I was ignorant and unlearned. I ain't had no knowledge of nothing. Writing a book.
Yeah.
You take my partner Paul Baines and tell you I didn't do no reading and none of that stuff. You had to be hooked up with God to do something like this.
Yes. And and we gonna talk more about the getting into that book space, because I still got a journey to go. But this right here is like your grandchildren, the generation, the world gonna know. You gonna still live through your words,
man.
After
that's help. That's help right there. That's the help I need, brother. To say, man, God is moving through you. To say, relax, brother. Kick back. You know what I mean? You don't have to work as hard as you used to, because I made the call, and that's what you did. You made the call, brother.
And what was that basketball player name that you said?
Lynn Byers.
Lynn Byers. So just imagine, Lynn Byers, they'll change your perspective. Look, that mysterious ways God working in.
Yeah, man.
That right there.
And you'll be amazed.
Pay attention to that.
You know, my number in my book
was the same number as his, 34.
And when I found out years later, in 2018, before I found out about it though, see, my basketball number is 34.
Yeah.
When I found out about who this man played with and discovered that, man, I said, man, this brother here can play some ball. But then when I looked at, I said, his number is the same as mine. That means that God teamed us up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? To let it be known that we have the same number.
That's you still live. Like he done.
Yeah. See my number 34 and his number is 34. This is Lynn Byers.
Yeah.
We both wear the same jersey number. And it's a good story right here, because I said some things about it. I said, I sure would like to have played on his team. Matter of fact, I sure would like to have played against him. And this man jumped out of the gym and he was bad, man. I didn't know nothing about it, but I'm just saying it would have been a beautiful thing. I can see me passing the ball to him or something right. But we got a thing going on there. He's the one gave me a chance to say, okay, he still lives.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people's lives have changed because of Lynn Byers.
I wouldn't have never knew Lynn Byers, and you keep see, that's how it is.
See, they think it's all about me in that book. I got some stuff in that book they missing and trying to think I'm getting to talk about me. You know, y'all know I done talked enough about me. Y'all better get this book and get this information quick.
Right. Come on now.
Yeah,
Come
man,
on now. Like so look, I'm finna get this pen and show what Lynn Byers what you would have done.
Oh man. We gotta see if we can do a little something.
Just a little something.
Give me a chance. I'm nervous as I can be now. Look at that. I'm nervous as I can see that. That's just a little something right there to show you that I know.
A little something with it.
I know Lynn Byers would say, show him just a little something.
A little something,
Just a little something. Don't show him too much. And I say, okay, man, this is for Lynn Byers right here.
Here we go, Lynn Byers.
This is for Lynn Byers right here. This is the way I would be doing it. While Lynn, I would be dunking the basketball.
Come on now.
I'll be doing this right here.
Greatest. You know what I'm saying?
As the world turned, that's how it used to be. When I was in the street, I used to watch the globe go around and around.
He give him anything. He can do it. Come on. Hey. Lynn Byers. Much love.
I tell you, man, that's all right.
Well appreciated, man.
Now, I appreciate everything that you have done, man. It's tough being over here, you know. And then when you mention Lynn Byers, he deserves his props, man.
Yeah. Yes, he do.
He deserves his props, man, because he didn't get a chance to go.
He didn't get the chance to,
He didn't get a chance to play with the Boston Celtics.
They lied with a hang of dreads in the rappers.
Because he was that kind of good, and I didn't have no knowledge
of him. And then you got to talk to his mother. See, that's when you're doing that work. You're doing that footwork.
Man, they got on their computer something I don't know how to do.
Yeah.
And I said, I sure would like to talk to somebody in his family.
Yeah.
And they did that for me, got in touch with her, emailed her, and she got back with me.
Wow.
And I got permission to put him in the book. I didn't want to put him in my first book without her permission.
Yeah, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. So yeah, we're gonna close out the raw intentional conversations like this. Spread it's gonna touch the people that it need to touch, and then it's gonna grow on to the other people who's not into it right now, into the information. But the information is there. Yeah, it's always been there. It's in the books too. So y'all grab them books and peace out to another time. Peace.